At the start of the movie, we find ourselves deep in the forest, where a father and his young son are on a hunting trip. The father has just killed a deer and hands his son a knife, urging him to skin it. But the boy is clearly terrified, frozen with fear. Instead of calming him, the father grows impatient and starts yelling. The scene then fades. Years go by, and that's when the real story begins. The story shifts to a couple named Olivia and Reed. They're deeply in love, and Olivia is expecting a child. Reed proposes to her, and she accepts, bringing joy to both of them. To celebrate, they host an engagement party at Reed's parents' secluded house in the middle of a forest. The atmosphere is lively. Friends and relatives have gathered, and everyone seems genuinely happy for them. Reed spends much of the evening capturing memories with his camera, especially photos of Olivia with their friends. Everything appears perfect on the surface, but beneath that happiness lies an old wound. Reed hasn't spoken to his father in years. The reason is still unclear, but the tension between them is undeniable. Despite the silence, Reed's father clearly worries for him. As the couple prepares to leave for the city, he tells Reed that he's already packed the car with essentials: food, gas, extra clothes, and even weapons. Reed doesn't understand the need for all this, given it's just a short drive, but his father insists, warning him about the unpredictability of the road ahead. Before they part ways, his father brings up Reed's decision to marry Olivia, questioning whether he's truly ready and if he has really moved on from the past. The conversation strikes a nerve, but before it can turn into an argument, Olivia arrives, and the two leave. What neither of them realizes is that their journey is about to take a dark and deadly turn. While driving, the mood remains tense. Olivia tries to reassure Reed and reminds him to focus on their future, not the past. Just then, a car suddenly appears on the road, and Reed narrowly avoids a crash. The close call unsettles both of them, especially with Olivia being pregnant. After the incident, they realize they've taken a wrong turn. Now lost, they're faced with two paths, right or left. They're unsure which one to take. Reed prefers one route, but Olivia chooses the other, mentioning there's a gas station on that side. Reluctantly, Reed agrees to follow her lead. Unbeknownst to them, this path won't lead them home. It'll lead them straight into a nightmare. They stop at a rundown gas station, almost abandoned in appearance. Olivia needs to use the restroom, so they enter the small shop. Inside, they find an old man, completely unresponsive behind the counter. Despite their efforts to wake him, he doesn't move. A sense of unease fills the air. Suddenly, a strange woman appears, gruff and intimidating. She demands to know who they are and why they're disturbing her husband. The couple explains their situation. They're lost, and Olivia urgently needs a restroom. They also ask if she could provide a map. Instead of helping immediately, the woman laughs. She walks over to the man and speaks to him, as if they aren't there. Her tone carries a disturbing calmness, and she makes a chilling remark: people who end up here always lose their way. Her words unsettle the couple, especially since the old man still hasn't moved or spoken. Eventually, she hands Olivia the bathroom key. As Olivia walks away, the woman turns to Reed and begins explaining a shortcut through the woods, claiming it's the fastest way back to the city. Though Reed is skeptical, he takes the directions. The couple soon leaves, unaware that the path they've chosen won't lead them to safety, but to something far more sinister. And as they drive away, the woman watches them go, smiling in a way that suggests she already knows the horrors waiting ahead. Unaware of what lies ahead, they continue toward their destination. Along the way, they notice a shortcut and decide to take it. Reed is still visibly upset, his father's words echoing in his mind. Memories from childhood resurface. His father, a hunter at heart, had always wanted Reed to follow in his footsteps. When Reed was just 9 years old, his father killed a deer right in front of him and ordered him to skin it. That moment stayed with him, and he had sworn never to become that kind of man. He couldn't bear the thought of his own children looking at him with the same fear and disgust. As they drive, a sudden jolt interrupts their thoughts. An old, rusted car bumper lies abandoned in the middle of the road. Its condition suggests it's been there for years. Olivia warns Reed. This is the second time he's nearly crashed today. She urges him to drive more carefully, clearly disturbed by his distracted behavior. Reed, unsure of what's happening to him, steps out to move the bumper aside. Just as they start driving again, a terrifying shift begins. Blood seems to drip onto the windshield, slowly spreading until the entire screen is soaked in red. A dark, demonic whisper echoes near Reed's ear, calling his name. Suddenly, he snaps back. Olivia is beside him, asking if he's okay. He thinks he must be exhausted from driving for so long, but when he says it's been hours, Olivia tells him it's only been 5 minutes. Confused, Reed brushes it off, assuming it's just his tired mind playing tricks. But this is only the beginning. As they drive deeper into the forest, Reed sees an old man standing alone by the roadside. Despite Olivia's warnings that the man could be dangerous, Reed stops the car. He asks the stranger if he needs help, but the old man, alarmed at the sight of them, begins yelling, "Turn back! Go back!" Terrified, they flee. Tension builds between them. Olivia accuses Reed of being reckless, nearly causing accidents, stopping for strangers in the middle of nowhere. She wonders aloud if he's punishing her for what happened 3 years ago. Reed tries to calm her down, saying it was all a mistake. Though Olivia grows quiet, both of them remain unaware of the true horror still waiting ahead. Later, they pull over so Olivia can use the bathroom. She walks into the woods while Reed waits in the car. Suddenly, a stone hits near him. He catches a glimpse of a shadow darting away and feels a jolt as something strikes the car, injuring his hand. Panic sets in, and deep in the forest, Olivia feels the presence of something behind her. She runs back, terrified, telling Reed they need to leave immediately. As they drive away, Olivia brings up the 2 strange people they had asked for directions earlier, the ones who told them about the shortcut. But Reed has no memory of meeting anyone like that. Confused, he questions her, but Olivia insists it happened. She urges him to rest, thinking he's just too tired. Reed eventually dozes off. When he wakes up, they're still driving. Frustrated, he asks why they haven't made it out yet. Olivia turns to him and says something chilling, "We'll never make it home." Reed glances at her, only to find her face transformed into a demonic figure. He jolts awake again. Olivia's sitting beside him, acting as if nothing happened. No mention of the shadow, no panic, no trace of the horrors they've witnessed. Reed began to sense that something was off. Despite leaving the engagement party hours ago, they were still stuck in the same shortcut, and their car's gas was almost empty. Olivia, on the other hand, seemed unaware of how much time had passed. She couldn't remember when they started driving or anything that had happened since. Confused and increasingly anxious, she suddenly saw a shadow on the road. Fear took over, and the car came to a halt. They stepped out for fresh air, only to find that daylight had vanished. The morning sky had turned to night in an instant. Reed was baffled, unable to explain how time had slipped away. And then, the strangest thing happened. They found themselves back at the same spot with the broken bumper. But now, the twist deepened. Parked beside it was a car that looked exactly like theirs, and hanging from it was a lifeless body, covered in blood. Terror struck them. As they attempted to flee, a dark, ghostly figure emerged from the woods. The car's gas tank was empty, and even though they tried to reverse, the vehicle refused to move. They struck the figure, but it wouldn't die. It wasn't human. Just as death seemed certain, another car appeared in the distance, its horn drawing the figure's attention. The couple used the distraction to escape into the forest. Shaken and desperate, Olivia broke down. She begged to go home and confess to past betrayals, desperate for forgiveness and a second chance. Reed tried to stay hopeful, assuring her they'd survive this. As they hid, the dark figure searched for them, but eventually disappeared into the trees. They decided to make a run for it and managed to reach the highway. But the nightmare continued. No matter where they went, they always ended up back at the same place, where the bumper was. Their memories became unreliable. Sometimes they argued, sometimes they laughed, but none of it made sense. Time and place had lost all meaning. It was as if something was messing with their minds. Eventually, Olivia stormed off in frustration, but before Reed could process it, the shadowy figure returned. This time, it knocked them unconscious. When Reed awoke, both of them were tied up. In front of them, the figure devoured the body that had been hanging from the tree. Olivia wept, realizing the creature would come for them next. She admitted to more than just an old betrayal. She was still involved with someone else. Reed, broken and confused, didn't understand why she kept hurting him. He then asks if the baby is truly his, and Olivia reassures him that it is. Before he could fully react, the hooded figure spoke, exposing Olivia's secrets and revealing that it knew everything about her. The figure calls her a cheater and attempts to kill her. But just before it could strike Olivia, something unexpected happened. The strange man, who earlier had mentioned drive back, suddenly returned. He struck the creature, knocking it unconscious, then quickly untied Olivia and Reed, urging them to leave immediately, warning that the figure wouldn't stay down for long. As they fled, Reed found the man oddly familiar, though he couldn't place him. They asked him what was going on and where they were. The man revealed a disturbing truth. This wasn't an ordinary road. It was a strange dimension, a multiverse. This road connected countless realities. Anyone trapped here would keep driving forever without escape. The man claimed he'd been stuck there for ages, unable to leave. He explained that every version of themselves existed here, their past, present, and future. They might encounter them all. But the scariest part? This road erased their memories, over and over. No matter how many times they tried to understand what was happening, they'd forget everything. Yet, the man said something had changed. Olivia and Reed had done something no one ever had before, something unique. They had unknowingly created a glitch in the system, possibly even found a way out. But what was it? Before they could get answers, the road began affecting the man too. He forgot who Reed and Olivia were, then turned aggressive, accusing them of trying to kill him. In panic, they ran again, through the endless forest. Reed was furious with Olivia, still haunted by her betrayal, but despite everything, he couldn't leave her behind. He was determined to get her out of this nightmare. Then, a thought struck him. If what the man said was true, then their past selves would also arrive at the broken bumper soon, the exact spot where they had once stopped for a bathroom break. That meant they had one shot. If they could intercept their past selves and steal the fuel from the car, they could refuel and find their way home. But what exactly had they done that triggered the escape route? Suddenly, they remembered. The moment the demonic figure had first appeared, they had thrown the car in reverse. Drive back. Maybe that was the key. Now their plan was clear. They waited in the woods. Just as the man had said, their past selves, Reed and Olivia, arrived and stopped the car for a bathroom break. Present Reed told Olivia to stay hidden. He knew what was about to happen. Picking up a stone, he threw it toward his past self to distract him. That version of Reed noticed the stone, exactly as it had happened before. The loop was now complete. Then, present Reed rushed to the car, grabbed the hidden gas, and ran. In the distance, past Reed saw a shadow moving through the woods, the same shadow he had seen at the very beginning. It all made sense now. The shadow wasn't a ghost. It was him. They were trapped in a loop of their own actions. One piece after another fell into place. Reed and Olivia now found the car, and with gas finally in hand, they had one last chance to escape this cursed dimension. They both get into the car, preparing to reverse their way out of the cursed place. Before heading back, Reed silently forgives Olivia for everything and decides to start fresh with her. Olivia is relieved, but Reed is severely injured. As she turns to the back seat to get a bandage, she notices something chilling, a jacket and a knife, identical to the ones the mysterious killer had. In that moment, Olivia realizes a terrifying truth. The shadowy figure wasn't someone else. It was Reed's future self. Fear takes over. She picks up the knife and forces Reed out of the car, convinced that he too will try to kill her. Reed, though confused and hurt, leaves without a fight. The shadow, likely the future Reed, then appears and approaches him. With no other choice, Reed runs. Olivia, left alone in the car, begins experiencing disturbing illusions. The hallucinations intensify, and then the shadow attacks her. As the mask comes off, Olivia is stunned to see her own face. It wasn't Reed who killed anyone. She was the killer all along. As the shadow version of Olivia moves in to finish her off, Reed suddenly returns and kills it just in time. Olivia is badly injured, but for a moment, it seems like the nightmare is finally over. But another twist remains. If there was a future Olivia, then a future Reed must exist too. And he arrives soon after, more sinister than ever. Before he can strike, Reed manages to kill him as well. He helps Olivia back into the car and begins to reverse. As the vehicle moves backward, the cursed road seems to unravel. A mysterious light appears at the end of the path, and as they pass through it, the dimension begins to dissolve. They're finally back, right at the place where it all started, the shortcut road. Reed smiles, thinking they've made it out alive. But then he turns to Olivia and realizes she's no longer breathing. Shattered and lost, Reed calls his father, who tries to reassure him that with time, he'll forget everything. That's when Reed remembers. He can't forget, not until he returns to that road. Carrying Olivia's memory is too painful. He leaves her behind and picks up the same wooden stick once seen in the hands of that strange man, because now Reed has become that man, haunted, broken, and alone. As he walks back to the cursed highway, unaware of the truth, Olivia slowly regains consciousness. She's alive and pregnant. Meanwhile, Reed reaches the cursed road again. Slowly, his memories begin to fade. But just then, a little girl calls out to him. She's holding a photo of Reed and Olivia. Her eyes look just like his. That's when Reed realizes Olivia survived. She came back to find him, and she gave birth to their daughter. And just like that, the story ends. But this road, it's full of twists. Would you dare to drive on this highway? Let us know in the comments. Until then, thank you for watching, and goodbye.